Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Absolutely Not podcast. I am feeling like a elder millennial. I got an iPad mini because I got blackout drunk the other night and it was Prime Day on Amazon. I don't promote over consumerism, but let me tell you, we've got 5 sponsors of the podcast today. No, I wanted to get a couple doodads, and I ended up getting this iPad mini that I thought would be cute. Sit in the office, sit by the desk. You know, we'd listen to the voicemails on it, and I don't know. It's the same size as my frickin' phone. Did I need it? No. Was I drunk? Yes. I'll tell you what. Being in Italy for 2 weeks, yes, you spend money because you're on a vacation. But when you're on vacation, you know what you're not thinking of? You know, having 6 margaritas and then just buying random shit on Amazon. It's like as soon as you get to America, you just need gadgets and chip clips and, fucking things in your house and organizers and all that shit. When you're on vacation, you don't think about that. The only thing you're thinking about is when am I getting a Frito Misto? What time is calamari hour? You know? What time am I getting a fresh Aperol Spritz hitting my lips? So I do think when I go on vacation, I save money because I'm not blacking out, shopping, filling the void of sadness in my deep soul. So yesterday, what arrived? An iPad mini, 2 different sets of headphones because I lost my Beats by Dre. You know, I'm a Beats by Dre kind of girly. I got my dingle dongles in here while I'm recording the podcast. But I got those. I got Bose. I got one of those things called a Hatch. It's like a gentle alarm system, a gentle wake-up clock. Why? You know what I need? The sound of the fucking Lord telling me to get my fat ass up. But it has like 8 different settings, but I didn't, when I set it up last night, I didn't set it up properly. So I slept through the first 2 alarms. I guess how it works is it eases you into the morning with the sunrise, right? So I sleep with like blackout curtains, shutters that are closed, like you cannot see a thing in my room. So this Hatch, this whole idea behind this clock, I guess, is that it eases you into the morning. It helps you with your circadian rhythm. It eases you into your evening. It's all by lights and soft sounds. You know, I'm a cocktail jazz, bossa nova kind of cafe girly. And I guess I didn't set it up properly to alert me when it was supposed to. So the 3 settings are very gentle, crackling fire noises to wake you up initially. Then it's some sort of jazz. And then the 3rd series in this wake up 30 minutes, it's like 10-minute increments, is called Gentle Morning Rave. Well, it just went straight to Gentle Morning Rave. So I woke up with this fucking clock that was lit up hot pink, just blasting fucking Avicii basically at 8 o'clock this morning, and I was wildly confused. So I don't know why I bought that. Don't know why I bought the Hatch. I'm going to give it a minute. I'm going to lean in. You know, I saw this thing online. Everybody's talking about having high cortisol. I've had it for like 4 fucking years. I've been on the high cortisol train. That train left the station in 2001. And one of the things you're supposed to do when you have high cortisol is get fresh sunlight in the morning. Well, I can't even pull myself out of bed to do that. So I'm having to get this Hatch so that it sits next to my head and just puts a little bit of like hot pink UV light right on my face. Why am I buying these gadgets? I barely even know how to work my fucking phone, much less do I need a mini iPad. And I really need a new laptop. Didn't get that. You know, they're all write-offs. I get that company credit card and I just start swiping. But yeah, I got my mini iPad. Who am I? I feel like my mother. I've never been an iPad gal. I don't know about y'all, but tablets have not been my thing. I like oral tablets. You know, if you say you've got a fun time pill in your purse, I'm going to take it. But a tablet to me is just another phone. My eyes hurt. You know what I mean? I got a headache. I can't. But here we are. I'm tinkering around. I'm just, a little ASMR for you. What's been going on? Let's see. I was so genuinely grateful for the kind response to the Bumble con artist scammer episode we did last week with my mom. She's recovering well. Oh, shit. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Why is my mom called, but it's on Do Not Disturb?
She's called 3 times then and it surpasses Do Not Disturb.
Okay, hold on. Hey, Mom.
Hey, I just want to say if you're driving home, you be careful.
Oh, Mom, I'm in the middle of recording the podcast.
Oh, sorry about that, Heather. It's because it's pouring down rain. Okay,
Oh,
bye.
okay. I love you. I'll see you in an hour.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay. Okay. Panic. So if she calls me, okay. So somebody calls me 3 times in a row, which my mother did. She is my emergency contact. Okay. Look at that. Learning something new. Learning. Okay. Well, Robin can get through the do not disturb. Here I am trying to be a professional in the office. So yeah, I've been back in Atlanta. We had to deal with Robin scamming last week. We're back at work though. Y'all, the summer is coming to a close. I know we haven't even gotten to August yet. The kids apparently in Georgia are going back to school July 31st, which is asinine. It always used to be August 5th, but apparently Gwinnett County's going back early, which is just foolish. But I have been back, and I guess kind of domestic bliss. Robin was at the beach for a week, so Jeff and I had the house together. You would think that we would have been having like sex swinging from the chandeliers. We did that like twice, and then we both got tired. It was like we were living a very basic suburban domestic life. We went to Costco. We both went to physical therapy. I started this new thing called gyrotonics. The median age of people on these gyrotonic machines is like, I'd say 94. I will tell you this though, I've never stood so far upright. It's all about like working the spine and you make these circles. So imagine like a Pilates reformer machine, but it's sitting up and you're just making circles and you're doing a cat cow, a lot of that. So apparently, because of all my back injuries, I need spine mobility. So that's what I was doing. Jeff and I cooked out one day for everybody at the house. He smoked ribs. My husband's a very talented chef. He loves cooking. He's got the Traeger grill. We were smoking some ribs, but he hasn't figured out the timing of the ribs. We had people coming over at 1. Dinner, on a hot summer day, maybe it's 7, 8. These ribs took 12 and a half hours. Okay, it was about 9:45 till we cracked open a pork rib. I said, honey, you're really good. You're really good at cooking, but your timing is always off. If you know you got to serve ribs at 7, they need to be in at 3 a.m. Any rib pit master would tell you that. I'll tell you right now, I've always said I thought I'd be a great pastry chef, but I do think I'd be a fucking great pit master. And if you don't know what a pit master is, it's like the pit bull at a barbecue restaurant that runs the fucking show. They're the ones checking the heat on the smoker. They're the ones with the secret recipe for the sauce. Is it vinegar base? Is it mustard? Is it Carolina Gold? Is it Georgia sweet Vidalia onion? They are the gatekeepers to the fucking barbecue. Shout out to my buddy Will Smith, who is a dear family friend of ours, and he was telling us how to smoke them ribs. And he texted me. He sidebar texted me, and I haven't told Jeff this. He was like, I'm worried. Them ribs not going to be ready by 7 p.m. We ate at 9:45. We sure did. I said, baby, you got to get them ribs in 6 a.m. I really do think that maybe, I don't know, after I probably have some sort of like botched plastic surgery and I take some time off from the road on my next journey, I think I maybe get into barbecuing. Maybe start grilling hard. I'd love to be a pit master. I don't know. I think that could be fun. I'd always have on like a leather apron, kind of dominatrixy. Always be covered in some sort of sweet, sticky sauce. And I just get to yell at grown men throwing wood chips in a smoker all day. Daryl, we need more chips. I would crush a barbecue restaurant. And me, I'd honestly, the smoked meats would be good, but my sides would be even better. And if you don't think I would have the best fucking desserts that have ever touched your little Kentucky lips, then you don't know me. You don't know me. But I told Jeff, that the art of entertainment is all about the timing. When you come into the house, a guest needs to have a cold beverage within the first, I'd say 5 to 7 minutes. They come in the first 2 minutes, hugs, kisses, how are you? Go put your bag down in the powder room. You know what I mean? Or in the guest bedroom next to the powder room. And then it's, what would you like to drink? If guests are getting their own drink, I failed as a host. Now, my friends have been to my house so many times, they know what they like. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get the rosé in the wine fridge downstairs. Okay, great. I'm getting a beer, whatever. But I would say from the moment guests hit your door, hugs, kisses, general salutations, greetings, and then in the next 5 minutes, they better have a cold, either Arnold Palmer, scotch on the rocks, or a glass of white wine within the first 5 to 7 minutes. And if you don't provide that, you're a shitty host. I'm just saying. I don't know what Emily Post has to say about this, but I bet there's a time frame as to which people are supposed to have something cool in their hand. And I guarantee Emily Post has a time frame as to which ribs are supposed to be served. And it is not at midnight, Jeff. But we were cooking, I tell you what, coming back post-Italy, we've been spoiled. Everything was fresh in Italy. And I got back to my wicked ways. I've been to Chick-fil-A 3 times. I can just feel the cholesterol just hit in the back of my throat. I'm puffy. I am regular again, though. Thank you so much to everybody who reached out to me post ER trip. That a lot of y'all have been down that road. I was surprised at how many other people have sent themselves to the ER because of gas pains. But we're right and regular as anything. Because once you get that Monsanto, GMOs, just absolute American poison running through your veins, you will shit 4 times a day. So that's all you needed. I did think about it, though. Another business idea, if I don't become a pit master later on in life, I would really, really love to open a Chick-fil-A franchise in Milan. It would fucking crush. I don't know if I talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago, but I think it would fucking crush. It would crush. I'm just saying, it would crush. Okay, see, I'm addicted to this iPad mini. What am I doing here? I don't know. I hate it. I'm just picking it up. I'm touching it. I'm tinkering. I don't know. We're going to get into the comments here in a minute. Not the comments, the voicemails. I'm brain dead. I had a very heavy lunch. We went to this place called Bonafide Deluxe. Is it Deluxe? Yeah, Bonafide Deluxe in Atlanta, and I had one of the best smoked turkey sandwiches of my life. See, again, smoked. I like things that have been around the fire. I used to work at a restaurant that closed, but it was called King and Duke, and the whole idea of that restaurant was that you cooked everything over an open hearth, open fire, wood fire grill. That's basic primal cooking. Smoke a little meat, hang something out to dry. I love things aged. I love things fermented. Why do you think Greek people and Italian people look so good when they're old? It's because they've just been eating fermented. And Asians, a lot of fermented kimchis and veggies. It's either smoked, cooked, or grilled, baby. Why do you think Southern people die at 56? Because everything's covered in just absolute pork fat. But it's also why we live good lives. You know what I mean? I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. We did have kind of an ominous conversation in the car today. We were all, my buddy Jared was just like, if I died tomorrow, I'd be okay. I was like, great. I love that journey for you. We've been trying to figure it out. It's weird. I don't know if you all are feeling this way, but it's kind of a weird shift. Like the end of summer's coming, even though we're a month away from Labor Day. So it's hot hellfire. Everyone's at that point where it's too hot. Like June and May were fun, but now we're just hot. After the 4th of July, it needs to drop 10 degrees. I could still be patriotic. I could still be in an American flag sweater, but it needs to be max 86 during the day. It's too fucking hot. It's hitting 102, 103. The other night, we went to dinner at our favorite spot, Yeppa, and it was so fucking hot that I ripped my dress off. My dress had a full zipper, and I would just go in the bathroom, unzip the whole dress, stand in the stall, and just put moist towelettes on my ankles. I didn't know what to do. I was having a full hot flash that I could never curb. I could never settle or scorch the heat that was radiating through my body. Didn't matter how many Aperol spritzes I had. Didn't matter. I had 2 wrists in ice buckets, and I was just fucking miserable. And now I'm living like a fucking sociopath wearing denim today. But honestly, you ever been so hot that you actually feel cooler if you're wearing something that's more covering? Like I'm in a denim and a very slutty top. I feel cooler today in this than I did in my linen dress the other day, just letting it all air out. What am I talking about? I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. I am having fantasies of opening a barbecue restaurant. What would I call my barbecue restaurant? It's always like Tamara's Ham. It's got to be like Heather's Hogs. Ooh, I like that. Something along Heather's Heavenly Hogs. I like that. Yeah. Hell yeah. And there's a photo of me, but it's actually Miss Piggy. Because I'm obsessed with this this Instagram account where it's Miss Piggy, and it's literally the Miss Piggy account. And they just post the most glamorous photos of Miss Piggy. And I don't know why I just relate to her so much. And I've never really had my own Kermit. Like, Jeff is not a Kermit. I'd say Jeff is more of a Grouch or a Cookie Monster size-wise. But Miss Piggy was always such an iconic, stunning, like gorgeous, bossy, bitchy babe that I've always really related to. Like, I would love to do any sort of Sesame Street get together with Miss Piggy. But I follow this account online. It's just glamorous photos of her. And I'm thinking this could be great. We could do like a collab for my future barbecue restaurant. If it's like Heather's Heavenly Hogs and it's a photo of me and Miss Piggy, but it's like, art as me as Miss Piggy. And there's angels everywhere and I've got wings. It could be cute. I see the branding right now. And instead of like white and red checkered tablecloths, we have like hot pink and white everywhere. Oh, and if you go there, okay, this is what's happening. Okay, I'm already talking about the branding of my barbecue restaurant. At my place, you can get a Bud Heavy in a glass bottle. You can get a Mick Ultra in a glass bottle. It's glass bottles only, but we'll also have really high-end champagne. Billy Carte Simon, Laurent Perrier. And you'll have to drink out of like a 1920s little champagne coupe. And we'll also have some sort of contraption where it's not a normal wet wipe. It's like little tips that you put over your acrylic nails. So afterwards you don't have to suck the underbelly of your nails to get all that good Georgia Vidalia onion sauce out. Our macaroni and cheese will always be a little thicker and less creamy. I don't like a weird goopy macaroni and cheese. I like it you see, when you pull it together, you pull it apart, you see the shreds of cheese that have been melted. We might have a panzanella. We might throw an Italian flair at my barbecue restaurant. We'll have a nice panzanella. There's like one pasta dish that rotates every week. Like a cacio pepe, a carbonara, but it's got some sort of barbecue flair. I don't even really love barbecue sauce. I eat it. But I've never been an A1 girly. I think if you're putting A1 on a steak, you're ruining the flavor of the steak. The meats, to me, should speak for themselves. Now, do I love a fucking condiment? You bet your ass. And I'll have the best barbecue sauce you've ever tasted this side of the Mississippi. But I'm just saying, you could also take one of my pork ribs and dip them in ranch if you know what's good for you. This is what I do on this podcast. I live out these fantasies, and I've hundreds of thousands of people that tune in, and you just kind of role play with me. And I don't know if you're into this, but this is where I'm at emotionally. My barbecue spot would have chandeliers, but we'd still just have rolls of toilet paper, not toilet paper. God, that's disgusting. Rolls of like, whatchamacallit? Not toilet paper. What am I trying to say? Paper towels. We got cute holders that you get at Ross for Less. You got the paper towel holder that's got like the crystal ball at the top. It's kitschy. It's cute. And we would actually have a bathroom attendant. Okay. Now hear me out. We'd have a bathroom attendant that would sit outside the bathroom. So you could go in there and do your thing. We'd have a bathroom attendant that would sit outside that would have, Chanel Chance that you could spray on, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, Tom Ford Black Orchid. Would have an assortment of different colognes and perfumes that you can only use after you have a culinary experience. You got a breath mint. You got floss. We've got some pressed powder for the guys and the gals. I want you to feel like you're coming to this barbecue restaurant, but you're still leaving able to go back to your stunning, beautiful, gorgeous corporate job and not smell like you were at Heather's Heavenly Hogs. I'm thinking of all the elements. I am a hospitality queen. And I mean, we could even just call it like Heather's Hospitality, you know what I mean? Or something. We got to figure out, or maybe it needs a little bit more of like an Italian and Southern flair. You know what I mean? Like the Southern, I don't know, let's think I don't know, grits and pesto or something like that. It needs some sort of flair to it. We're still having Miss Piggy somehow be a part of the branding for sure. And if you're a vegetarian, I will make this place so fun and friendly. You'll have the best fucking greens of your life. We'll have them with pork and without. So you can come. You can come. If you're a veggies gal, you can come. We're gonna have the best pimento cheese you've ever had because the level of Duke's mayo that I will put in that pimento cheese will be out of fucking control. But I do think having a bathroom attendant, almost like you're at a nightclub at a barbecue restaurant, is super helpful. You get a couple wet wipes to wipe down your body. You know, there's just like big things of talc-free baby powder or Mega Babe powder in the bathroom because you know you sweat. The place is smoking up. You're sweating. You were getting a workout while you're eating, and you can just douse, put some in your crotch, put it all over you. So you go back to the office. You got to go back to your job at, I don't know, the New York Times. You are fresh to death. And nobody knows you just consumed 6,000 calories. We might even have a pastry section of just like corn muffins, brownies, ice cream a la mode. Like we're going hard. I'm clearly about to start my period because all I've been talking about is food. And you know what? Okay, Emily and Tina left. I wanted to get an iced coffee after we went to the sandwich shop today. And Tina was like, I know why you want to go because you want a little sweet treat. And I said, I have self-control. I'm not getting a sweet treat. And then we rolled up and the espresso machine was broken. So I left. Okay? Talk about self-control. I didn't get a coffee or a fucking sweet treat. So that's why I feel really fucked up right now. Damn, we're in the studio right now and I can hear the storm coming. We're at that part of the heat in the South in the summer where every day, like clockwork, 3:30 to 5 o'clock, there is a hot hellfire end of the world storm. And it hails and it's lightning and it's crazy and you think you got to hit the deck because a twister's coming and then it lasts 25 minutes and then it's gone. And then you can just go out into the parking lot and see the steam and the fog rise up against the asphalt post-rain. Oh, and there's nothing sexier. There's nothing sexier. I wonder if there's like the sound of cicadas as an option to cool you down at night for that on the hatch. My husband hates the sound of cicadas. It's because he's a city boy. I'm like, nah, honey, I love them cicadas. I love sitting on my back porch just hearing it. It really irks Jeff, and I love it. I love driving through the low country, feeling that you open the sunroof and that Spanish moss just tickles the top of your head as you drive through them woods. I love it. No, I'm kidding. I absolutely hate the woods. And tick season and Lyme disease is a real thing. So make sure you check your crevices for ticks. But anyways, I've just been kind of really enjoying being home and doing the domestic things. You know, and blacking out and buying shit that I absolutely do not need on Amazon. I will say there is a trend right now on TikTok where it is people absolutely like just roasting the level of consumerism, over consumerism that we have. And these girlies are like, let me just show you what an average day is when you don't buy shit all the time and you have the same makeup and the same home decor. And like, I mean, these people are like, we have no art in our house. We don't buy anything. We have one knife in our kitchen. Listen, I know people hit on hard times. These people have not hit on hard times. They're just like majorly trying to prove they're like minimalism. You got one fucking pillow in the whole house. And I said, I got to be honest with you. I know it's better for the environment. I know it's better for, all of our pocketbooks, but it's fucking boring. I went antiquing today, and that is when you're at a level of white woman new moneyness where you want to go buy other dead people's shit. My buddy Jared Hughes, who's designed everything in my house, he's like, let's go antiquing. So we went antiquing. And as soon as you walk in the door of this convention center to start antiquing. You can smell the old money vendors selling relics from the old English countryside. And you can smell people like me, new money bitches, coming in being like, give me that shit from them old ladies. It's true. But, Jared made a good point. He said, Heather, if you buy antiques, you're actually being eco-friendly because you're upcycling, right? It's like thrifting. We're not creating new stuff. We're just moving around the old shit. So I raise the people on TikTok. I hear you, but I raise you, just go antiquing. And then I saw the prices on some of this shit. It was so fucking expensive. So one lamp was like $10K. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? This is why I end up at fucking Home Goods. Who is that kind of money? At this rate, I'm going to end up with one knife in my drawer. But it is true, we buy too much shit. And all we are pressed all day long is, you got to have this and you got to have that. It's like enough. But I do understand. I never got it in my 20s. I never understood why anyone would ever want to go antiquing. Why would you want to look at old shit? Why would you want somebody else's shit? And then you walk in this convention center, as it's something about like being a white woman in my veins and my blood. I was just like, let's fucking go. I saw rugs and lamps and side tables and little cute accent chairs that my fat ass could barely fit in. And I was like, I need it. Oh, that accent chair has a little like turkey foot, little club turkey foot as the accent on the chair. And I was like, I gotta have it. Look, you turn into a sociopath. The amount of women that were at this antique show just jawing. I mean, if I go back to the antique show, this is how I would do it. One, I would go incognito. I got stopped too many times. And that's not a toot your own horn, you're famous. No. It's just, this is where other white women go to spend money that they don't have. Do you know what I'm saying? Actually, everyone in this convention center today had money. But regardless, it was just like, it's like, for example, the football player, Messi. If Messi went to a football convention, they're going to know it's him. Those are his people. You know what I shouldn't have done? Gone as myself to an antique roadshow. It's all rich white women going, hey, girl. So I felt like I was taken out of the elements. I didn't actually get to see all the things I wanted to see because I was taking photos. Talk about a white woman privilege. How's the storm? Is it bad? Oh, it's thundering. Oh. Oh, I thought I heard thunder. Okay. Tina just came in, checking the storm. Twisters, hell yeah. Although I cannot wait for the new Twister movie. Glenn Powell. Hold on. Let me get my jugs right. Let me take my earphones out. Glenn Powell, if you ever see this. Hi, my name's Heather McMahan. I am a big fan. I am so excited to see you in the new movie Twister. I'm really excited to see you in anything, wearing anything or nothing. That's coming off too sexual. Glenn, I am a big fan. I'd love to work with you one day. We could play besties or lovers, whatever comes across your desk. I'm looking for opportunities to be with you, near you, smell you, and maybe have you inside of me. Okay, anyways, back to the regular podcast. Y'all, Glenn Powell's hot. He is our Tom Cruise. He's our generation's Tom Cruise. He's fucking hot. He's a great actor. We have like 2 degrees of separation. Everybody said he's a great guy to work with. Like, he's nice. You don't hear that often. He's nice. Big Glenn Powell fan over here. You didn't see Top Gun? Holy shit. The sexual tension between Miles Teller and Glenn Powell and Top Gun 4 or whatever the fuck the most recent one was. Sexual. That tension was like cutting an ice cream cake from Baskin Robbins down the middle. I mean, it was. And they don't play like gay lovers in Top Gun. I'm not spoiling that for you. I'm just saying, having 2 leading men like that are both so incredibly good looking, and they're just in those Air Force uniforms, and they're flying them jets. It's hot. That's hot. That movie does things for me. It really does. It really does. It's patriotic. They're it deals with aviation. I think pilots are so hot. Again, my father is a pilot, so I think there's some sort of weird, Oedipus complex there. But regardless, really love him. Specifically, Glenn Powell. Really just huge mega fan. And I hope he sees this one day. I actually did audition. I don't know if I want to say this. I did audition for a TV show that he's shooting here in Atlanta in a couple weeks, and I really hope I will book it because I just think Glenn and I would be buddies. So, anyways, manifest that for me. What's going on? My tits are out today. I wore a low-cut top. I feel like I'm getting so hot in my undercarriage with all these dresses that I've been wearing, and I just feel like I can't cool off the lower bits. I'm going to keep the top bits cool. And I haven't really been showing cleavage for a minute. I really haven't. I was turtlenecking it up this winter, and right now the boobs are out. I got on my Skims push up, the boobs are out. I'm living my life. I'm living my truth. And if you don't think when I open my barbecue restaurant that I will basically be topless under a leather apron, you must not know me. You must not know me. Oh, you know what we absolutely will do at the barbecue restaurant? Free limoncello at the end of your meal. It's a nice digestif. It's a nice little citrus palate cleanser. That's how we can incorporate some of the Italian sides of my life into this barbecue joint. You get a gorgeous, nice little shot glass of limoncello and espresso. If you want a little after barbecue espresso to get things moving and, because you're going to go into a food coma after you eat barbecue. But a little limoncello, a little espresso with Sambuca in it, bam, forget it. That's how we do it. And then we have an old school cigarette machine where you can get packs of Marlboro Reds, you can get them Cowboy Killers. You can get the Cools, the Menthols, the Newports, the Parliaments, whatever you want. We'll also have a cigarette machine there just for you to, whether people just come in and they think it's kitschy and it's a part of the decor, or if you're like, actually Italian and need a cigarette and an espresso and a little shot of Sambuca or limoncello after your barbecue pork ribs, I have it. I will have everything there for you. Very excited about that. Okay, well, I'm rambling. What the fuck am I talking about? Except I'm just over here. I'm just fantasizing. That's all I do. It's all a fantasy. All right. I'm very excited to get back into the voicemails. That's one of the reasons why I bought the mini iPad. So I can play it and look cute. You know what I mean? And not have to have my laptop. But I already don't know how to use this. Anyways, we're going to get into the voicemails. As always, you can call in 800-213-7503. Love to hear what your absolutely nots are, what you're getting into. Absolutely not to summer, kind of feeling like it's slowing down. But absolutely yes to possibly, and I'd say 6 months, it being 10 degrees cooler. And, absolutely yes to that summer loving, those summer memories. That sweet Georgia heat sending little sweat beads down your spine. Absolutely yes to going and getting an ice cream on a Thursday afternoon just because you can. I didn't because I have self-control, but I wanted one. And absolutely yes to me opening a barbecue empire. All right, let's get into the voicemails. Again, you can always call in 800-213-7503. Let's get into it.
Hey, Heather, long-time listener, first-time caller. I want to stay anonymous for this one because it has to do with one of my friends, and absolutely not. They posted on their Instagram story about how they're raising funds to go to Paris for the Olympics to do mission work. I love the Lord. But, honey, that's just called hustling for the Lord. I don't know what you're doing asking for money. So that's it. Yeah, absolutely not. Take care of yourself. Thanks for the laughs.
I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you, kind soldier, for calling in. Here's the deal. I don't want God to strike me down dead. I mean, the Lord says you're always 24/7, 365, supposed to be sharing your testimony in your walk with the Lord. But you know who does not need to hear your testimony? An athlete as they're gearing up to do the 100-meter dash. Because you want to know what? I guarantee the people who absolutely don't need to be turned over to the world of the Lord are professional athletes. If you don't think while they are training, while they are in those dark, quiet moments alone out there training for the triathlon, quiet in their own mind as they're swimming the 6,000-yard dash, right? Or the relay or the whatever they're fucking called. I don't know. I'm not great with periods of time. Regardless, if you don't think that Simone Biles has not had a quiet moment on a Sunday morning looking in the mirror as she softly grazes all the blisters and calluses on her hands, and she looks up to the sky and says, God, give me strength to do the damn bars today. If you don't think that Olympic athletes are already pretty much closer to God than the rest of us, then you must not know the Olympics. And I'm going to tell you, the Parisians do not take kindly to visitors, period. So if you're going to show up with a couple ragtag, guys and gals from the Mormon church, I want to prepare you. It's probably not going to be well received. I always say, know your audience. You want to go do some missionary work, go to fucking Burning Man. Go to Coachella. Hit up Glastonbury Music Festival where everyone's losing their mind on ecstasy. Although Burning Man, actually, if you were a missionary, would be a solid place. You're stuck in one place. People can't really run from you. If you're going door to door to tents and people's RVs, they'll think that you're dressed up in costume doing a little bit of a shtick. But if you knock on enough RVs and everybody's on enough of the right drugs, I'm telling you what, you could start your own fucking cult because it already kind of is a cult. And I'm not knocking on people who go to Burning Man. I've always said it'd be very adventurous. I would just need a very bougie Airstream. I would need air conditioning at Burning Man. You know what I don't like to do? Burn. If you're going to do the missionary work, I wouldn't do it around athletes who are competing. Because the Lord is already so involved in their day-to-day training, their mental health. I'm sure in plenty of different aspects, these athletes are in touch with a higher power. I cannot imagine that they wouldn't be. And if you think that you're going to somehow convert a Parisian security guard scanning tickets outside of the track and field venue, you've never been to France. Now, I'm also going to guess that your friend who says they're doing quote unquote missionary work, they're just looking for a free trip to Paris. And I got to be honest with you, I went to a really intense Christian school growing up, and I still love the Lord, so that's a separate thing. But when I tell you some of the fundraising that these rich kids did for their mission trips, it was bullshit. They're like, you have to raise the money. I remember my dad being like, I can't just cut a check for you to go to Cozumel so this will look good on your college resume. He's like, why do you need to go shake down our neighbors for $100 each so you can go on this mission trip to this orphanage in Cozumel? He's like, how much is a trip? $500? I'm going to write it. You know what's also nice? Not shaking down your friends and family for cash all the time so that you can go be a good person. I love charity. I love philanthropy. I'm a very philanthropic gal. But I will not ask you to donate unless I really need you to. Your friend is fucking bamboozling. They're saying they want to go do missionary work. They don't. Next thing you know, your friend's going to be in the hottest nightclub in Paris in some underground dungeon snorting cocaine off a girl's tits through a mesh tank top. Oh, listen, I know how this works. Everybody had that one friend in college who said that they were coming back and instead of doing summer school or getting a summer job in between semesters, they were going to do missionary work. And we all saw them upload the photos to Facebook. And they were all somewhere in Berlin or like Ibiza. And they were coked out of their mind. So I find this a little interesting. Yeah. Yeah, your friend might be doing missionary work in the Olympic Village, trying to find the athletes who didn't do well and luring them in over to the dark side to go party after they got cut from the relay. So they're actually quite genuinely doing the opposite of the Lord's work. It's harmful, and you don't need to let them into France. Nothing better. I need money for missionary work to go to the Olympics. Save it. Save it. You know where's one place you could just go and really heal people? Go to Vegas. Go to Panama City Beach. Drive up to San Francisco and start handing out pamphlets. The Olympics, all those athletes, I'm pretty sure, thick as thieves with our Lord and Savior. Unbelievable. Everyone's a scammer. Everyone's bamboozling. Let's get to the next voicemail.
Hi, Heather. My name is Emily, and I'm from Nashville. I'm a longtime listener, first-time caller, and I have an absolutely not for you. I went to Northern Michigan to visit my parents over the 4th, and I decided to fly. So I decided to save a couple bucks because I'm a teacher on summer break, and I took Allegiant Airlines. If you're not familiar, it's a super low-budget airline. I'm talking building the kiosk like a pop-up shop as I'm getting ready to board the plane.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's not the point of the story. I want to tell you about my seatmate. My seatmate on this said flight had on a bodycon tank top dress and sandals. Not what I would want to wear, but it is important to the story. So that's not even my absolutely not yet. Once we're in the air, I'm looking out the window, kind of seeing a lay of the land, and I realize that my seatmate has her dress pulled up past her hips. And we have a full bare ass on this airline seat. I shit you not. So the whole rest of the trip, I'm trying not to look, but then she positions herself towards the window, and I've got full cheeks in my face. Oh, so then we're descending. She's screaming because she doesn't like how it's making her stomach feel, and with all of her commotion, her dress comes up even further. We've got full frontal nudity going on. It was ridiculous. So once we landed, I broke my cardinal rule of standing before everybody else, and I literally just got up and out of there as fast as I could. So that is my absolutely not for you. Maybe spend the extra money next time and fly comfort. Love and light. Bye.
I'll tell you, pledge allegiance to the Allegiant Airlines that is letting some absolute just grade A hookers on. I mean, it's keep it horny in the sky. I was getting pushed this thing on Instagram the other day, and I genuinely did not know what it was. So I click on this thing, and I thought it was this girl showing like her cute Lululemon outfit. And then literally within 10 seconds of the video, I was like, how the fuck did I end up on this? It was this girl in she had like a Lululemon skirt on. I'm like, oh my God, I love her outfit. I'm thinking that she's like a fitness trainer. She's standing at a gas station pump. And I'm like, oh, she's going to give like, hey, you want to know the 10 ways to lose weight in 48 hours? So I was like, click on it. She's hot. And the next thing you know, she was like showing everybody at the gas station her vagina. And they showed it on Instagram, and I was like, I panicked. I don't know how this ended up on my For You page, but I have a feeling that this is that kind of girl who got on her. It's like this whole side of TikTok or Instagram with these girls. You think it's just a normal video. You're like, oh, okay, I'm going to get, tips in the grocery store on like what kind of produce is the best to get and what's actually organic. And then the next thing you know, they're like literally showing people their assholes. It's bizarre. I don't get how I got there. I wanted to get away. Poor Emily, who runs a lot of my social media. Sometimes she logs into my account to help me edit things. And she's like, what the fuck is this? I said, Emily, I don't know what to do. I keep getting that. And then I keep getting this girl, sweet Cara. This girl, Cara, who does twirls in the grocery store. It's probably I got her through that one or vice versa. Cara is a sweet girl. She does twirls and dance moves in the grocery store. So I go from like something that's probably semi-pornographic to the sweet girl, Cara, who is absolutely an angel baby. And she's just trying to tell you healthy alternatives. Like, don't get this kind of peanut butter, get this one, it's better. And somebody has dubbed over every single twirl, plie, pas de bourrée she does with fart noises. And it is the funniest shit I have ever seen in my life. And it's mean. It's mean. It's mean internet. It's mean internet. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. So I end up it went from that to this sweet girl doing twirls and splits, telling you what kind of peanut butter to get, to now I am just the number one fan of this account that dubs all of this shit to farts. And I'm just juvenile. It's so fucking juvenile. on my social medias right now. It is so fucking juvenile. But anyways, to get to the point, this woman that's on this Allegiant flight, I feel like she's one of those girls. She may have been fucking nuts. She could have been methed out a little bit. I feel like when people are methy, they're always trying to rip their clothes off. Not even cocaine. Cocaine, you are John, you're tweaking a little bit, but when you're on real methamphetamines, I'm talking like the meths, the PCPs, the angel dusts, if you will. You don't have control of really bodily functions. So I'm sure she was trying to roll that dress up and get comfortable on her leather seat, but she also could have look for a hidden camera. She could have been doing one of these things that I see these people doing. They're out in the middle of public, and the next thing you know, you're looking at a video. You don't realize it, but there's a labia looking back at you. You don't know. And I don't know if they do these videos because that's how they get away with it on Instagram. I don't know. I look away. I don't want to say that. In the words of Valerie Cherish, I don't want to say that. But, I'm even surprised people who wear shorts on airplanes. You know what I don't want to wear on an airplane? A jean short that has then somehow been rolled up in the middle because my thighs are thick. And then you've got just a solid log of denim in your crotch and you're trying to pick at it, and then that looks perverted, but really you're just trying to kind of relieve your camel toe of denim. I've kind of had a denim camel toe all day today in these jeans, and I'm not happy about it. It's because my shirt, I wore a crop shirt with the wide leg jean. I don't know. I'm really going through an identity crisis over here. I'm about to start a fucking barbecue franchise. But I hear you. I mean, if you're wearing an open-toed shoe and a bandage dress on a flight, you're just asking to die. I mean, you don't have to wear jeans on an airplane. You can wear a sensible, just comfortable pair of athleisure. But at least, get the hammies covered. Get the hammies. People are wild. Now, I don't know I can't remember where you said you were flying to. Let's see where Allegiant flies to. Let's see them routes. Because I feel like an Allegiant route will explain a lot of things to us. Tina just said she flew it from Richmond, Virginia to Punta Gorda, Florida. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Where the fuck is Punta Gorda?
Just north of Fort Myers. So I was going to Naples.
Okay, you were going to Naples.
From the Richmond show 2 years ago.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's check their route map. Yep, where they go. I mean, they're hitting a lot of the major hubs, but they're also hitting Myrtle fucking Beach. You know what I mean? They're hitting Orlando. They're hitting Sarasota. I will never forget when Jeff and I truly did not have a pot to piss in. We had $3 to our name. We were flying from D.C. back to Atlanta. Of course, you would think just take a Delta flight. We found a one-way on Spirit Airlines. That was the first and the only time I'll ever fly Spirit. And it was like $50 from Atlanta, D.C., but actually, no, we flew from Baltimore. That's what it was. We flew Baltimore to Atlanta, and that was the wildest flight of my fucking life. First of all, I didn't know on Spirit that you have to pay for everything. So they get you. Right? The flight is cheap. It's like $89 one way, but then your purse is $50. Your chewing gum that's in your mouth is another $75. If you got a tampon in, forget it. You're bankrupt. They weigh you. If you have hair extensions in, each strand is another $3. Like, you don't understand. By the time you get on that flight, you've spent the equivalent of a first class seat in Delta. It's just, that's how it goes. And we got on this flight, and two people were fighting because we were flying from Baltimore back to Atlanta, but there was like a Florida State game happening or something, and people were fighting on the first two rows. And Jeff was like, I promise you, we will be successful. We can never do this again. It was like one of those, and I remember my dad was alive at the time, and he picked us up from the airport, and he was like, what the fuck did you guys just do? We were like, oh yeah, baby. We were locked on Spirit. But then you're kind of like, it's entertaining, I mean, hey, who knows? Sometimes it's fun to see somebody's, vagina on a flight. I mean, I don't want to, but sometimes it's fun. I don't know even what to say. We could do airplane bits all day. Everybody knows how hellacious it is to try and travel these days. Here's the thing. I'm not even concerned that the woman had her vagina out. I'm concerned that she was wearing a bandage dress. Those are too tight. We all had bandage dresses from like BB or Bebe or 579 or Charlotte Russe or Forever 21. We all went through a bandage dress phase. And, I never should have been in a bandage dress because I'm shaped like an apple. So I would say the largest part of my body is my breast and my midsection. So I can guarantee you that the bandage dress phase stopped the first time I ever wore one to a nightclub, being wildly overconfident about my body. And I think just slowly after that they trickled out of stores because they were just like, that was unnecessary. We didn't need to see that. But imagine, I would tell this woman, I would have leaned over to her with the knowledge that I have now. Ma'am, you can't wear things that tight on an airplane because then you're going to have horrible gas for the next week. It's kind of like, I know you're supposed to wear compression socks on a flight, but I also don't think you're supposed to wear compression socks on a flight. I think that's what fucked me up. I think things were too compressed. The reason I'm wearing jeans today is just because I want to know if they still fit. And guess what? They don't. They don't. Oh, we're all living on the edge. And you know how you're really living on the edge? On Allegiant. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do. All right, let's get to the next voicemail.
Hi, Heather. This is Caitlin from Pennsylvania. I'm so excited to come on your cruise in April. I do have an absolutely not for you.
Okay.
So I recently lost about 50 pounds.
Yeah, girl.
And some of the comments that people have are just an absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
I had an acquaintance's mom come up to me and say, "Oh my God, you look so much better than you did a year ago."
Oh, God.
And I was like, "Oh, well, thank you." She's like, "No, seriously. Like, you look really good and you used to not." Like, where do people have the audacity? That's my absolutely not. Love you, Heather. Bye.
I love you, Caitlin. I'm so excited that you're coming on the cruise. Y'all, the cruise is going to be so much fun. I have a funny anecdote about the cruise here in a second. But, okay, Caitlin from Pennsylvania. Girl, congratulations on your weight loss journey. It shouldn't always be about your weight, but I know, trust, as a big girl my whole life, I know what it's like to feel when you're like in that zone and you're feeling good about yourself. Congratulations. Health is wealth at the end of the day, period. I get it. I mean, people make comments about me all the time online. If I'm looking thinner, then they want to say something. It's also weird because it kind of fucks with you because you get this sense of, it's really a mind fuck because people will praise you, right? And you get all this positive reinforcement. You're like, "Oh, you've never looked better. You look so thin. Skinny queen. Yes. Wasting away," which is like always been my joke. I'm always like, listen, if somebody tells me they think I have cancer, like I look fucking good. It's sarcasm. All right. My dad died of cancer. But there is, it can be a complete mind fuck. You get all this positive praise and reinforcement when you're thin. And then if you're not thin, it's such a shit show. But I do love that this woman was like, just blatantly said, "You used to be an uggo, and now we will accept you into society." Y'all, my mom told me the other day, and I love Robin, but everybody knows it's just older generation of boomer women that they were held to different standards, okay? And you have to realize, like, we have come a long way in body positivity, body acceptance, yada, yada, yada. But back in the day, you can't be mad at these almond moms. We can't be mad at them because back in the day, like, if, you weren't 110 pounds soaking wet, you just didn't get married. It was, like, not an option for you. So I always give my mom grace in that. She was like, "Heather, you wearing that dress? It looks very tight in the middle." It was this white, gorgeous linen dress, and it kind of had a corseted bodice. So I thought I looked great. But I guess, I called Big Mac on myself the other day. I put on weight. I have. I've been enjoying myself. We're going to order the Mangiano and just let it rip and see what happens. But I'll tell you what, it's weird. It's a real roller coaster when you get the positive praise. And you're like, I haven't gotten this kind of attention before, But yeah, there's nothing worse than when somebody basically says, like, "We used to talk so much shit about you behind your back, but now that you're thin, we'll accept you into society," is essentially what this older woman said. And I have to stop my mom all the time. I'm like, Mom, you can't say that. Mom, I love you, but that's not a thing. Mom, let's be positive. But on the other side of it, my mom is my biggest cheerleader. She literally, and I know that when she tells me I look good, I actually look good. So I also kind of cut through the bullshit. I'm like, listen, it's okay. Some days you're like, I'm feeling fat. I'm feeling like a horse's ass. It is what it is. But, you know, the thin girls will never get it. The thin girls, God bless you. You've never had that voice in your head. And I'm sure you've had that voice in your head for other things. But I did see something. Wait, I think I saved this TikTok. This woman said it, and this is dark. I'm going to let y'all know this is dark. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But this woman had like 40,000 comments on this TikTok video the other day. And she's just sitting in her car. And I don't want to misquote her, but she basically was like, have you ever just been like so fucking disgusted? Like you just literally are sitting in your car and you're like, you're a fat fuck. I fucking hate you. You're a fat fuck. And I immediately went right to the comments and every woman was like, yes, bitch. Had that 30 minutes ago. And it's dark. It's fucked up that we talk to ourselves like that. You know, and they say the body keeps score. It's all about positive. You know, your body, if you always say negative stuff to yourself, you're going to be in a negative head frame. So Jeff and I, when we were on vacation, we literally kept saying, we're so thin. We're so thin. We just kept saying, like, if we say it out loud, we'll convince our minds and our bodies just to, like, release the extra calories because we're just like, we're thin, we're light, we're loose. I'm thin, I'm light, I'm loose. That's my new mantra. It's such a cycle of self-loathing, self-hate, then overconfidence. Then you lose 3 pounds and you're like, nobody can fucking stop me. And then you're becoming mean to other people. You're like, you fat cunts. And you're like, I don't feel that way. I'm just feeling good and feeling thin for like 24 hours. You know, I don't know. I'd love to hear though from a naturally thin person what that is like though. You know? Y'all know for one point in my life, I did not eat pasta for like 15 years. I quit eating pasta in junior high, and I grew up in an Italian family, and I didn't eat it. And then when my dad died, I said, fuck this, I'm going to eat pasta again, and I've never been happier. So you got to find the happy medium. There's enough of those GL1Ps these days. Just order those, you know? Just order those. Why did I make this about me? Because I don't know why. Because I hate myself. I get it though. The comments are bizarre. The comments are really bizarre. I went into my nail salon once, and I don't want to do nail salon bits, but my girlies one time I walked in, they were like, "You've lost so much weight," and they kept saying, literally, she said, "You used to be Shamu, now you're Finding Nemo." And I remember going, "Touche." It was in between college. I had lost a lot of weight because I was just sucking on salt cubes and chicken tenders and Bud Heavies in college. Okay. I've said this before. There was no, like these young girls now like work out. There was no working out for us. The only way I worked out was dipping tenders in honey mustard and washing it down with a Bud Heavy. And I now see these girls, you know, because everything's online. They exercise. There's a Orange Theory Fitness in my college town. There's like 3 Pilates studios, a yoga studio. We didn't have that shit. If I wasn't rollerblading to the bar, I didn't do it. All right, speaking of working out, let's listen to this next voicemail. Let's see if this is helpful to anybody.
Hey, Heather. I'm going to stay anonymous.
A lot of anonymous.
For reasons you'll find out in just a second. I have the craziest absolutely not for you.
Okay.
Absolutely not. To the police almost arresting my husband, claiming that he's a drug dealer. Apparently they thought the pre-workout powder in his car was drugs, and they even tested it, and apparently it was positive. And he had to jump through a lot of hoops to show that it was just pre-workout powder and he is not, in fact, a drug dealer. But also, absolutely not to my husband not being a drug dealer, because as frustrating and stressful as that process was, there was a little, tinge of hope that maybe he is a drug dealer and he has a large stash of money he's hiding somewhere, and maybe we won't have to be poor. But alas, he was found innocent and is not dealing drugs, and we are still poor. So absolutely not to my husband almost going to jail for a crime he didn't commit, but also absolutely not to him not being a drug dealer, because we are still poor.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right,
huge
I'm going to
fan.
tell you right now,
Love
we
and
need to
light.
change that
Bye.
mindset, okay? See, we got to change. We're going to talk positive about ourselves. We're not going to say we're still poor. We're going to say we are coming into wealth. We are coming into riches. We are coming into wealth. We are coming into wealth. And by wealth, I mean your husband does need to start selling loose pills out of the trunk of his car in front of the Crunch Fitness. I'll tell you, though, I could see why pre-workout would come back as positive and test positive for drugs. Have you ever taken pre-workout before? That will fucking crank your ass up, Soulja Boy style. I used to take pre-workout when I really was working out when I worked at Soul Cycle, and it's like chugging 4 Celsius. You take 1 scoop of it, and it was like a berry flavor, and it always said it had like a lot of amino acids, which are great for like recovery after muscle building. And I lasted 1 week on pre-workout, and then I'm pretty sure my hair started falling out. Like it was fucking intense. And I get ads all the time now to take creatine. They're like, everybody should be taking creatine in small doses. And I'm like, I'm not trying to grow a nutsack. You know what I mean? I am treading lightly on that one. I'm going to wait till they do a lot of scientific research on women and let a couple other beefy broads go ahead and try that before I lean into the creatines. Dude, pre-workout will make you feel lit as fuck. You take a scoop of it, woof it down, and then 30 minutes later, you're getting yoked out at a Gold's Gym. So I don't even know what's in it, but I could imagine that it probably would test positive for something fun. The cure to my acid reflux is to take baking soda. I take like, excuse me, hold on, half a teaspoon of baking soda and put it in water, and it'll immediately, works like magic, 10 out of 10 every time. Immediately cure your acid reflux. And I sometimes travel with it, and I did think about it the other day. I carried in the tin that literally says baking soda. I was like, they're going to think this is cocaine. It looks just like cocaine. And then I thought about having to like do it take it in front of somebody at TSA. And you know how embarrassing it is? I mean, I have hair extensions. I've got Gucci sunglasses. All right. You think they're going to believe me that it's baking soda? You know, they're going to, okay. Woman in a glitter jacket coming through the airport. Yeah, sure. This is baking soda. And then I'm going to have to pull out some medical document that says I have crippling reflux disease, GERD. Like, come on. You know how embarrassing that is? I'd rather tell them I am a drug dealer. Go ahead and arrest me. At least they'll give me some street cred. I'm over here freebasing baking soda so I don't have the burps when we go out to the bar. That's embarrassing. And I got to be honest with you, dear caller, I don't know if drug dealers make a lot of money anymore. I know the ones who are actually doing like the devil's work and like selling fentanyl probably do, and we're not about that. But I don't really know if drug dealers make a lot of money. I feel like drugs are like, you can get cocaine anywhere. You know? You can buy weed. Weed is legal everywhere. I don't know if that's as profitable of a business as it used to be. You know what business he should get into to really make some money? At-home abortions. Okay? Because that will be illegal soon, and it'll be illegal across the board, and you could definitely make a killing at that. No pun intended. Okay, this is getting dark. This is a very dark episode. I'm sitting alone in my office right now, and I can hear a giant rainstorm happening, and all I am doing is sweating under these studio lights just thinking about opening my barbecue place. You know, but no, I don't know if you make that much money as a drug dealer anymore. Dude, I had a friend of a friend. That's all I will say. So I'm not somehow connected to this. And my boy went to actual prison. It was very wealthy white kid, went to prison. And because he was a big drug dealer in Atlanta, and he spoke fluent Spanish. And I'm not even kidding you. I'd love to bring him on the podcast and interview him sometime. I will not say who he is. But he spoke fluent Spanish, and that's how he did really well in prison. And he would get the Financial Times and the Wall Street Journal, and he would teach finance to everybody because he went to like a very prestigious MBA program here in Atlanta. So that's all I'm saying. It's a numbers game, baby. But I don't even know. Let's Google. Is this a Googleable thing? A Googleable thing? You know what? Let's ask my sister. Let's ask. She just texted me. Hold on. Okay. Enable. Ashley, I did 4. I'm recording the podcast right now. I got a quick question. Do drug dealers still make really good money? Or is drug dealing kind of like a lost art because drugs are legal now? Question mark. Let's see what she says. Okay. You know who would know? The Georgia law lady. She would know. We'll see what she says. We'll see what she has to say. What are other ways you can make a lot of money? I'm telling you, the foot fetish thing I think's great. That way, everybody can get involved. The whole family can get involved. And I just mean as, obviously, husband and wife. But, grandma, anybody of age can get involved with the foot pics. That, to me, is innocent. If there's a way to make money off that, then why not do that? What are other ways to make quick cash? I would sell your eggs or something like that, but I don't have many, so I'm not going to encourage. Although, hell, I might need you to send me a couple. I'll cut you a check for that. Okay, so my sister just responded with LOL, not a. So is that? I'm going to type on my mini iPad. So is that a yes? I mean, give me something, Ashley. This bitch will send me paragraphs, soliloquies. She's writing a fucking dissertation about the sandwich she had for lunch. And then I ask her a real question and I get an LOL back. She said, this is hilarious. Answer the fucking question, Ashley. The clock is ticking. You can definitely still make money selling drugs. Okay, so there you go. Actually tell your husband to start selling drugs. Easy as that. Look at that. Get on it, And here's the thing. Technically, but she said, but probably less on weed nowadays. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I thought. Okay. And here's the thing. He could probably jump right into it because he already technically went through, the system. He saw what they were looking for. He saw what the red flags were. He's already been shaken down a little bit. So now he knows how to skirt the system. I'm not telling him to do anything, but allegedly, if you need to make some extra cash, apparently it's still a very profitable thing. Seems too dangerous, though. Very dangerous. I heard Beanie Babies were maybe coming back, so maybe look into that. Etsy, I know you can make a lot of money on Etsy. I'd also start selling wares, art on Etsy. Dude, okay, I'm not telling you to do this, but couldn't you just go on ChatGPT, have some AI art, and then resell it on Etsy? There you go. Bing, bang, boom. Get a couple frames from Hobby Lobby. There you go. You're buying a boat. Before you know it, you're buying a boat. Or guess what? Go to the antique store. No, this is what you do. After antiquing today, this is what you do. You go to a thrift shop. You buy a bunch of random shit. You just make it look even older than it already is. And then you go down to one of these antique shop conventions and you sell shit to me, my dumbass. And I'll bargain with you. We'll go back and forth. We'll do a little, no, I'll give you $500. No, max $450. And then what, you spent $20 on an old dusty plate and you sold it to me for $450? There you go. Shake dumb new money cunts down, and that's how you make a buck. And you will not be poor anymore. One